So, when you're signing on with a new software vendor, you're obviously excited about the future, about all the possibilities, but what about the end of that relationship? It's something we don't like to think about, but we have to. Today, we're digging into data portability, that one thing that makes sure when you decide to walk away, your most valuable asset, it comes with you.
Look, let's be real. Every single vendor relationship ends. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, when that day comes, does your data, your company's lifeblood, walk out the door with you? Or does it get left behind, basically held hostage in a system you don't even use anymore? And before we jump into the toolkit, just a quick but really important heads up. This is Module 7 of a bigger 10-part series. It's all based on some amazing research from Virtualization Options LLC. Now, what we're talking about here are general principles, so this is not legal advice. You should always work with your own legal counsel to figure out what's best for your specific situation. Okay, let's get to it. I want you to think of a vendor's platform like a fortress. You know, it's built to be super secure and efficient on the inside, which is exactly what you want while you're there. But here's the catch. Those same walls that are protecting your data can just as easily trap it. Getting your data out isn't about trying to break down the walls. It's about knowing right from day one where the doors are, how to open them, and who has the keys. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We are handing you a practical, let's call it an interrogation toolkit. It's made up of 4 absolutely essential questions that are designed to cut right through the sales pitch and show you what a vendor's real data strategy is. All right, first up, the most fundamental question of all. It sounds simple, but it's everything. How do you actually get your data out? This is all about the nuts and bolts of your exit plan. So you have to ask this directly, and don't let them get away with a vague answer like, oh yeah, you can export your data. Nope. You need specifics. What are the tools? Which APIs can we use? What does the process actually look like, step by step? And notice the focus on all our data. We're not just talking about user entries. We mean configurations, metadata, the whole shebang. And this is what you're listening for. A really good transparent answer will point you toward self-service tools that put you in control, not some process where you have to file a support ticket and just wait. They'll have clear, well-documented APIs. They'll confirm that all data really means all data. And here's a big one. They won't slap you with hidden fees just to get your own information back. So you've confirmed there's a way to get your data out. That's a great first step. But what good is that data if, once you have it, it's basically written in a language you can't understand? This brings us to our crucial second question, overcoming the language barrier. This question is all about the format. See, it's not enough to just get a massive data dump. If that dump is in some weird proprietary format that only the vendor's own tools can read, you have to know if the formats are open, standard, and ready to be used by other systems without a huge, expensive, time-consuming transformation project. I love this slide because it makes the contrast so clear. It's night and day. On the left, you've got what you want. Open standards like CSV, JSON, or Parquet. These are things that are universally readable and, importantly, they preserve the complex relationships within your data. On the right, you see all the red flags, proprietary formats that lock you in, that require special tools, and that often just flatten your data, basically destroying its context and a lot of its value. Okay, so you can get your data out and it's in a format you can actually use. Awesome. But let's be honest, large-scale data migrations are, well, they're never simple. This third question is about what happens when you hit a bump in the road. What kind of help can you really expect to get? Now pay really close attention to the wording here, both into and out of your platform. Why? Because every single vendor on the planet is thrilled to help you migrate your data in. That's how they get your business. A true partner, though, is just as willing and able to help you migrate your data out. Their answer to this tells you so much about their business philosophy. A vendor who's actually committed to your success, and not just to holding on to your revenue, will have clear answers for this. They'll offer the same level of support for import and export. They'll have public, easy-to-find documentation for the exit process. And they won't treat your departure like some kind of betrayal, but as a normal part of business that deserves professional support. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most critical question. After you've successfully moved all of your data, what happens to the copy that gets left behind on their servers? This is all about making sure you have a secure and complete end to the relationship.
Leaving copies of your sensitive data on a former vendor's servers is a massive security and compliance risk. It's just not an option. So you have to ask them point blank, what is your exact policy for data destruction? And, this is the key, how can we verify it? Trust is great, but in this case, verification is everything. So this slide basically lays out your action plan. Step 1, get their policy in writing. Make it part of the contract, not just a verbal promise. Step 2, define a specific timeline. Don't let them be vague. Is it 30 days, 60, 90? Get a number. And finally, step 3, ask for proof. A reputable vendor should have no problem providing a formal certificate of destruction, which gives you a verifiable audit trail. Nailing this down up front will save you from a world of hurt later.
So here's the bottom line. A vendor who's confident in their product and who actually respects you as a customer will welcome these 4 questions. They'll have clear, specific answers ready to go. Any hesitation, any vague hand-waving, or an outright refusal to answer, well, that is the answer. They're telling you, without saying the words, that they see vendor lock-in as a feature, not a bug.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Because at the end of the day, if you can't easily pack up your data and take it with you whenever and wherever you choose, is it really your data at all?